Hi everyone, um, I'm Haryana, and today we'll be doing a very quick review of an open source software called CompuCell3D. And CompuCell3D is freely available. I'm at the website right now. It's CompuCell3D.org. You can go to the website and download it um, from the download section here on the left. So today I'm going to talk about what is CompuCell3D and just a quick example of someone who has used CompuCell3D to create simulations um, to understand cancer metastasis. So what is CompuCell3D? So CompuCell3D is a multi-scale tissue simulating software. At least that's the way I see it. And so within biology here, you can have three different scales. I mean, you can have multiple scales, but three different scales um, that can be modeled within the simulation software is the molecular scale, the cellular scale, and the tissue scale. So at the molecular scale, you have things such as the diffusion of chemicals, signaling networks. So this is all in the context of biology. And if you were just looking to model at that scale, you would use partial differential equations or ordinary differential equations to model how these diffusions occur in time and in space. And same with signaling networks, you can use ODEs to model these. But if you were looking to model at the cellular scale, you would need an individual cell-based model, that can help you model things such as cell division, cell adhesion, migration, or cell differentiation, things like that you are not possible to model with ODEs and PDEs because ODEs and PDEs would be looking at cells on the continuous scale. And so in addition to the cellular scale in CompuCell3D, you can look at the tissue scale, which is the organization of cells and how they form these tissues. And so in CompuCell3D, you have all of these three different scales combined so that you can look at the behaviors of the different molecules or the cells as a whole in this one simulation software. And that's why I think it's call it a multi-scale tissue simulation software. And so now we're going to look at an example of someone who's used CompuCell3D to build a model to understand how cancer migration occurs. So it's a very short video. Before we start the video, these are cells, collection of cells that have been modeled in CompuCell3D. And so this is the graphical user interface, at least part of it, and these are the fibers which are supposed to represent the tissue environment in which these cells reside in. And so here we can look at the video, but what the authors of this video and the paper were trying to accomplish was trying to study how this tissue environment affects cancer migration through the tissue. So if we watch the video here, these are the cancer cells and other cells among it all bunched together as they migrate through the tissue. And what we see is that they've kind of left a trail of degraded fibers. And what you can't see is that these cells are actually producing enzymes that are breaking down the fibers that allows these cells to, to collectively move through the fibers by breaking it down. And that's what this gradient is here for. It's supposed to show you the concentration of these enzymes as the cells produce them. And so here's an example of how CompuCell3D has been used to create a simulation, to understand cancer cell migration through a tissue. And there's a lot of information that can be gleaned from this, such as how do the cancer cells migrate? What is the effect of these fibers onto the migration of the cells? And how do the cells interact? And so that is one example of how CompuCell3D is used to study cancer cell migration. And so if you go to the website, they have a place called Publications where you can see all the different papers that people have published using CompuCell3D. You have here again studying mesenchymal transformation in a tumor microenvironment, and just different studies that have been done using CompuCell3D. And it's a very neat tool. It's freely available. It's an open source software, and what makes it even better is that it's got a Python kind of side tool that you can use to functionalize your model to have it the features and characteristics you want it to have. And in addition to the Python add-on that they have a diffusion solver, that solves all the equations in time and in space, as well as obviously they have a cellular POTS model, which is what which is the model they use for the cells, as well as a graphical user interface, to visualize all data. And yeah, so that is CompuCell3D in brief. So I will be doing some more videos on using CompuCell3D, the basics of it. And so if you're interested, like and subscribe so that you can get some more of these videos. And